welcome back to Let's Play Crystalis with me, Jerupidus, and welcome to the final episode. Oh yeah, we are going to head straight into the endgame. We are hot on the trail of Draygon, who we just defeated, but he managed to get away one more time. But we ran into Azteca, who was injured but told us not to worry about him, and he gave us the Bow of Truth. And we're going to be able to use that to reveal Draygon's true form. Now, before we hit the road, one thing I want to do is just stock up on magic rings. I doubt I'm going to need this many, but I don't need money for anything else. And that is a full inventory. So now we have 4 items that will completely refill our MP, 2 Fruit of Repuns in case we get cursed, and 2 opal statues. So we are basically unkillable. We are very, very strong right now. And one thing I want to do, just for old time's sake, one last time, is use telepathy to talk to the wise men. The wise people, I should say. And let's see what Tornell has to say. Jerupidus, you look like you're having a rough time. I will recover your magic power. Thank you so much. And how about Zebu? There is a cave hidden in an oasis in the poisonous desert. Go there. And we will go there. That's exactly where we're going. Asina says we wise men. Azteca, wishing for your safety. And Kenzu, one last time is a little bit rude to us. I have nothing to say. Wonderful. He is my favorite, and I'm going to miss him so much. So we're going to hit the inn. Let's make sure we've got flight on because we've got to navigate the Death Desert over to the east. And we're using the Warrior Ring. That all looks pretty good to me. So let's get a move on. All right, out of the way, Scorpions. I love the Warrior Ring so much. Just look at this. Alright, and up this way is where we want to go. And here we find another entrance to the pyramid. And we're going to find ourselves in a long pathway, and the use of those bows we were given so long ago already is going to become clear right now. So why don't we get one of them out? It doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm going to get Refresh on. You who awaken us, you will sleep an endless sleep. And now, right above these lions, you can see a symbol of sun and moon. You gotta be quick here, because they shoot at you pretty relentlessly. So if I use the Bow of Moon, the Statue of Moon is gonna be destroyed. And now we're gonna get out our Bow of Sun and destroy the other one. And that's why we needed those. If you haven't collected those by now, you cannot progress and you cannot finish the game. Now, I'm ready to continue, so let's keep going. Now, there's lots of enemies in here. They're immune to my Sword of Thunder, and they cast curse spells, which I really don't want to get hit by because I only have a limited number of Fruits of Repun, so I'm just going to ignore them. And get out of here without getting transformed into a slime. Now we want to get out our flight spell again. I could use my leather boots to save MP, but I really don't need to. And we're just going to go straight up the middle. And hang a left up here. Over more spiky things, and we're gonna have to fly over a few pits, but now that we have the spell of flight, we don't have to wait for the pillars, which is really nice. And just makes you feel like you've come a long way, you know? And now, let's get out. I forgot to do this last time, but I actually want to use my power ring for this boss fight. And we're going to want our Bow of Truth as well. Now let's get to the final confrontation, shall we? And it's Draygon again. You, Jerupidus, you shall receive the wrath of my fury for taking my kingdom from me. And he's gonna go for a charge attack there. And it's the same as before, but we're gonna want to use our bow this time to reveal his true form. The arrow pierces the heart of the Emperor, and his true image is revealed. Let's go. Look at him. Oh, man. I think his final boss design is just great. And now we can't hurt him until his chest opens. And I think a little clue for that is that you struck him in the chest with the Bow of Truth. So we have to wait for him to fire some lasers. And when he does that, his chest will open. In the meantime, we've just got to avoid his various projectiles. And he's going to send a curse at us as well, which is why I didn't want to waste... There it is. But that's why I didn't want to waste my Fruits of Repun. I could have maybe gotten another level 3 down there, but I was too busy flapping my lips as usual. But it's going to be just fine. Down he goes. And that's the end of Draygon. We beat the game, right? Not quite yet. Azteca says, good job. This is the way it was supposed to be. I must explain. I didn't want evil in my mind, and I tried to push all corrupting thoughts away. But Draygon began to read my negative ideas and became absorbed by them. The fact that you and Mesia are awake means the tower cycle has begun. There's so little time. Kenzu says, hold on, try. And Azteca replies, Kenzu, I'm sorry. I feel Draygon's evil was my fault. He saw the temptation of using his power for self-glory and evil, but I could do nothing. Now we must be apart. I'm sorry. And we all cry out for Azteca, but Azteca is gone. And Mesia contacts us telepathically and says, Jerupitus, I'm now in the tower, not much time. Enter into the next room, I'll take you to the tower. And that's kind of a big revelation, right? That sort of Draygon's evil was Azteca's fault. Now, that doesn't make a ton of sense to me, and it'll make even less sense in just a little bit here. But I'll do my best to explain what I think is supposed to be going on. But here we are in the floating tower. How cool is this? This place that we've heard about the entire game, we finally get to visit here. And now we're just gonna spam sort of thunder attacks with the warrior ring. And this area is going to use a mechanic that never got used in the rest of the game. And that is that I have to kill all of the enemies in here to progress. There is no way out unless we kill all of the mechanized defense systems of the tower. Now, one thing I want to show really quick is that little eyeball thing up top. You can just avoid dealing with that by sticking towards the bottom. And I've kind of summoned all the robots, which is not great for me. So let's get to some better footing where everything is in front of us. Oh my god, I'm just getting beat down. But that's okay. We have plenty of magic rings to recover our MP, and even if we ran out, we have Dio's Pendant. So we really just can't lose. It's more about just enjoying the experience of the final chapter of the game. And I do love the design of these purple robots that come out after you defeat the initial wave. They remind me of something right out of RoboCop. And I'm down with that. Oh, that floating guy is so annoying. Or, I don't know, the wall-mounted eyeball, I guess I should say. And I don't know if it's a symptom of just, like, Japanese scenario writing. I'll get to that in a second, but that flash on the screen means that we can now progress because we've defeated all of the robots defending this floor. So let's go ahead and go on up. And you know what? I'm gonna kill this thing because it's been bugging me. Oh, God. Or I'll just take a bunch of damage, you know. But this thing is actually fairly difficult to deal with. Like, its projectiles are fast and frequent, and it's hard to get a shot off at it. But I'll demonstrate killing it once, I think. And for the rest of this, I'll just avoid it. There we go. But it's a huge distraction. It's very nice that you can just avoid it if you want to. And now we hear a pre-recorded message from the tower. Drupidus Mesia. These messages are for you. You were both part of a team of scientists who created this tower. As the most critical link, you were preserved to witness our future race to judge if there's hope for humanity. When the tower began operating, your life systems were engaged and you both were awakened. And that sort of explains why we woke up at the beginning of the game, because the tower got activated. Now, I'm assuming that that is because Draygon was trying to take control of it. That's what activated the tower. And Azteca's attempt to purge evil thoughts from his mind got absorbed by Draygon. Or maybe it just crossed his mind that he was like, you know what, though? This tower would actually make a really great weapon for world domination, but maybe I should purge those thoughts from my mind. And somehow Draygon picked up on that and was like, you know what, that's actually a great idea. Making all of this kind of Azteca's fault. But I do love the fact that Mesia and I, as the main character, we're both scientists. And now we're like magic-wielding swords people. Or at the very least, I am. And also, our position as scientists was used to be the ultimate judge of whether or not humanity deserves to continue existing. Thankfully, we're the good guys. Because we are going to choose to allow humanity to continue existing. I think that's a reasonable enough decision. Now, I could conceivably speed this up by using the power ring and some charge shots, but I kind of like just spamming with the warrior ring. It's kind of the safest way to get through this without expending too many resources, because the enemies are numerous, and they have huge life bars. Like, keep in mind, we are max level, and they still take, you know, 10, 20 hits apiece. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. Let's go ahead and fill up our MP. We're not really going to need it, but we might as well. And we get another message. Did you find Azteca? He was an android created by us and programmed to lead the people in a positive direction. We can only hope he will succeed. We used all our resources to create him. If he fails, then it will be up to you to decide their fate. Now, that's what I was talking about when I said this is going to make even less sense, because Azteca, it turns out, is actually an android. So why is he having these evil thoughts that he needs to purge from his mind? He was a robot that you used all of your resources to create, and still has the stray evil thought in his mind. So much so, in fact, that he created the ultimate evil in the Empire of Draygonia. So what I was going to say earlier about, I don't know if it's just a symptom of Japanese storytellings, where all of a sudden, in the final chapter, things get real weird and real hard to understand out of nowhere. It reminds me a lot of the time loop in Final Fantasy NES, where the whole game you're like, okay, you know, 4 Fiend's bad. And then it turns out that actually Garland is Chaos and involved in a 2,000-year time loop where he gets repeatedly sent back in time, and from the past he sends the Fiends forward in time, basically granting him immortality. And it's like, oh, okay, that's a pretty big narrative twist. And same with this game, I think, where it's like, oh, okay, first of all, we kind of just met Azteca, but it turns out that all of this is kind of his fault. And then it also turns out that he's an android created by the same people who created the tower. And ostensibly, Mesia and I were on the same team of scientists. And we were frozen in time to be awoken to be the final judges of humanity, but only in the case that Azteca fails. When the rest of 99% of the game was Draygonia bad. They are invading nation, they're evil, so we need to stop them. That's good enough for me. But we've ended up high in the tower, and now we kind of fully understand the plot of the game, such as it is, convoluted as it is. And now we're gonna get a real treat. Mesia, And Mesia replies, Jarupitus, you finally caught up with me. That's right, we finally caught up with Mesia. Unsheath your swords, or the tower's attack will begin, and we will do just that. All 4 of our elemental swords, and they are going to fuse together into the legendary sword, the Crystalis. And Mesia says you must destroy DYNA, the central computer. If you succeed, stick Crystalis into its main reactor. And that's right, Crystalis, let's get a look at it too. It's got such a sweet little model to it. Oh, I love it. It has the added benefit of if I stab it into the heart of the CPU, more or less, it will destroy the central operating system and defeat the tower once and for all, thus saving humanity. Jarupitus, Mesia, by the time this is activated, we will no longer be alive. We hope we have made the right decisions, and that all people will realize their mistakes before it's too late. Jarupitus, Mesia, as old friends, we wish your safety, good luck. And I guess that's a message from our old team of scientists, and now I have a lot of questions about their decision-making, but nonetheless, we're going to destroy DYNA. Let's go. And this is the final boss, and our warrior ring is going to kind of trivialize this, because we can use the level 1 charge shot to just repeatedly shoot it, and down it goes. It has a real Contra-y feel to it, which I really appreciate, but we're going to thrust the Crystalis into the reactor, and thus destroying it. And I'm going to do a little bit of a robot voice here. Confirmed meltdown. Self-destruct has been initiated. And Mesia cries out, Jarupitus. And I say, Mesia. And Mesia says, did you get hurt? And I say, nope, I'm fine. I actually kind of kicked this thing's ass. And Mesia says, the danger is over now, Jarupitus. And I say, it would be nice to rest easy from now on, without the threat of evil at our backs. And yes, it would be, wouldn't it? Final countdown initiated, evacuate, explosives activated, evacuate, 30, 29, 28, 27. And I say, it's time to leave. And Mesia says, I'm with you. Let's get out of here. Now, this legendary conflict, along with the people's despair, have ultimately ended. Jarupitus and Mesia, 2 fearless youths we can never forget. This will be a legend forever remembered to maintain peace and humanity, and peace will remain. And that is Crystalis for the NES. What an awesome game. Just for a first iteration of an action RPG, I really enjoy this game. My only criticisms would be that some of the clues about what to do next are pretty hard to figure out unless you already know what they are. I tried my best to include talking to the wise people to kind of fill that in, but a lot of it I'm just like, I don't know how you're supposed to figure this stuff out, honestly. But I think that's kind of true of a lot of NES games, so I don't really mind it too much. It really, really succeeds at what it's trying to be and has a fantastic soundtrack, so if you like action RPGs, I would highly recommend giving this one a try. And all I want to say is that the very next game we're going to be playing is Undertale, which I don't know very much about, so it's going to be a bit of a blind Let's Play. I know a thing or two about it, but I've never played it before, but I think it's going to be really cool, and I'm interested to try it out. I got a request for it, so that's what we're going to be doing the very next game. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.